Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings, and in this video I specifically wanted to talk about Jordan Peterson. He's a man that rose to stardom, ultimately becoming somewhat of a rock star, even though he is a middle-aged academic, and with a lot of notoriety, of course, comes a lot of criticism, and that's why in this video I wanted to examine critically some of the concerning issues regarding Jordan Peterson, and whether we have been deceived by somewhat of a charlatan, a chameleon, or a wolf in sheep's clothing for a bigger agenda, which of course I hope to help you answer by the end of this video. And a video, by the way, which is supported by you and your sponsorship, since of course massive demonetization, algorithm changes, and censorship have left us screwed. This video and independent media organization mainly depend on you and your support. And on wearechange.org/donate, you can help be a part of our bigger mission, which of course is trying to destroy the mainstream media by doing their job better than they do. And now back to the topic at hand. For total transparency, you should know that I personally have never met Jordan Peterson. We DM'd once. He sent me an advance copy of his book, which he signed for me. But other than that, I had no personal experiences with the man, or I really don't even know him. I really like his stuff, including his book, and the only negative criticism I had of him is, of course, that he posts way too many selfies of himself, sometimes just really awkward ones, which, yeah, I'm definitely not a fan of. But overall, a very smart, intelligent man that has been making a positive impact in many people's lives by telling them very important things like wash your penis, make your bed, play with pets, and other kind of very generalized self-help tips, which a lot of people found a lot of use in. And the more he got attacked by the mainstream media for very simple messages, the more respected he became amongst other people who didn't have any reason to question him. But there are some reasons to question him. Now, there's many questions to entertain here, but one of the biggest ones is, of course, Jordan Peterson's attendance at a recent Trilateral Commission meeting. Now, if you don't know what the Trilateral Commission is, it's a quasi-private organization that was made up by Zbigniew Brzezinski and David Rockefeller, very well-known globalists, that annually hold semi-private geopolitical strategy meetings between American, European, and Asian people of influence. People like Bill Clinton, George Soros, George H.W. Bush, Richard Pearl, Henry Kissinger, Dianne Feinstein, Fareed Zakaria, Robert McNamara, Jamie Dimon, Larry Summers, and now, this year, just a few days ago, Jordan Peterson. Which should lead to many people questioning, what the hell was he doing there? Because, yeah, this is an organization, as former U.S. Senator Barry Goldwater explained. The Trilateral Commission is international and is intended to be the vehicle of multinational consolidation of the commercial and banking interest by seizing control of the political government of the U.S. It's an organization started and funded by David Rockefeller, who even admitted in his own memoirs that he was a part of a secret cabal working against the best interests of the United States, conspiring with others around the world to build a more integrated global political and economic structure, a quote, one world, saying that he is guilty of this and stands proud of it. And he wasn't really that proud of it when I actually confronted him about it one-on-one, showing him his actual memoirs, which he wasn't really fond of answering, which by the way, you could watch this video in the description. And now, of course, we're entering conspiracy theory territory, but really, there's really no theories about it. The Trilateral Commission even admits themselves that they are trying to counter the threats to multilateralism. And of course, multilateralism is defined as international governments or global governance, which of course sees national sovereignty, patriotism, nationalism as a threat against its existence. And this is why people say that Jordan Peterson was talking about divine sovereignty of the individual at this quasi-private meeting, which the majority of the meetings are held off record. And what a surprise, not publicly available to the people. And other than just one video of Jordan Peterson saying that he is just speaking at the Trilateral Commission, there really hasn't been anything else other than this professor tweeting from the meeting about exactly the larger discussion that happened between Jordan Peterson and people Like this overbloated bureaucrat, Mauro Montini, who is Italy's former PM, as well as a Goldman Sachs and Bilderberg member. So yeah, I would definitely love to know the bigger conversation and discussions, especially the private ones, that happened at this recent Trilateral Commission meeting with Jordan Peterson. But this is not Jordan Peterson's first brush with globalists. Jordan Peterson actually even edited a report for the United Nations, of course, about sustainable development, with, of course, one of the panel members being on the UN High Court with him was, of course, John Podesta. And working with Mr. Spirit Cooking John Podesta, it's not really the best of luck. And if weirdo Podesta wasn't skeevy enough of a character to associate yourself with, we of course also have Monsanto, which also very surprisingly paid for and invited Jordan Peterson to actually speak at one of their events, where Jordan Peterson was hired to talk about anti-science sentiment, which didn't happen. Now, of course, does this outright prove guilt by association? Well, no, but is an issue of concern and something that there should be a bigger dialogue about, especially with Peterson himself, to of course bring more clarity and understanding to this bigger issue. Now, a lot of people also criticize Jordan Peterson because he does openly take psychotropic antidepressant drugs, and the whole pharmaceutical antidepressant subject is a huge debate to have that polarizes people, which of course we will disregard at this point in this video. But it is worth mentioning that this is one of the reasons why people criticize him. But one of the most criticized moments of Jordan Peterson's career happened, of course, when he tweeted affirming that Brett Kavanaugh should step down during, of course, questions about sexual misconduct 30 years ago. This, of course, sent shockwaves to many of his followers, since he even admitted having 3 cases of sexual misconduct placed against him, which, of course, he strongly railed against and talked about the use of them as a major political weapon. He personally knew the damage that fake allegations against men have been causing in our society, even detailing his own personal cases, and yet still made this claim, which of course he tried to backtrack afterwards. And wherever you stand on the Kavanaugh issue, this was seen as a huge 180-degree step by Jordan Peterson, abandoning what he was preaching before. And this, along with other instances, is what now Milo Yiannopoulos, who I am definitely not a fan of, is pointing to in his new op-ed, which he titled Jordan Peterson is the Wrong Kind of Chameleon, where he talks about that incident, and also previously before, where Jordan Peterson was classifying Milo Yiannopoulos as a, quote, amazing person, which Milo says he had many personal conversations with, and praised them publicly before. But in June of this year, Milo describes how a fellow professor described him as a racist to Peterson, which Peterson replied, quote, well, possibly, yeah, I haven't followed Milo that carefully. And the ego of Milo was definitely hurt on that one, with Milo later going on and saying, quote, if you betray one friend, you will later betray others. If you sacrifice one principle, you cannot be trusted not to sacrifice them all. Going on saying that, quote, he has no patience for gobbledygook, and no faith in people who, when push comes to shove, will bend for popularity, comfort, and an easy life rather than defend what they know to be true. Which are very personal words by Milo against Jordan Peterson. And in that same article, Milo goes on to state that Jordan Peterson is represented by a talent agency known as CAA, one of the biggest Hollywood agent companies, who in their own mission statement talk about and represent many social justice warrior ideas, even though they have done a lot of work with Harvey Weinstein, Hillary Clinton, and even had to publicly apologize since it came out on the record that 8 of their agents knew about Harvey Weinstein being a sexual predator and did nothing about it, publicly leaving an apology, while they previously dropped another personality known as Owen Benjamin for saying that 5-year-olds shouldn't be transgender. So yeah, definitely not the best reputation that Jordan Peterson is aligning himself with, signing up with, working with, as well as collaborating with, which we saw because of this video. And of course, these questions and many others are why people think that Jordan Peterson is someone not to be trusted, someone that is a chameleon, someone that is a charlatan. And overall, I could understand some of the sentiment, but like all public realities, there are multiple facets to go down with to explain some of this. And I could see why some people have that public opinion of Jordan Peterson, but there's also many other possibilities and probabilities that we should entertain here. Jordan Peterson is a very famous clinical psychologist who is estimated to be worth from $2.5 million to $8 million annually, and probably someone that the Trilateral Commission, Monsanto, the United Nations, and other sinister groups could find a lot of useful insight from that man in order to push their kind of bigger agendas. And Jordan Peterson could be unaware of these kind of bigger agendas at play here, which is feasible, and a lot of this could be innocent. Or another possibility here is that Jordan Peterson is aware at some of the sinister nature of these organizations and is trying to change them for the better with the bigger messages that he is trying to portray. That's also one possibility. Or it could be that he was co-opted in a way. And the word co-opt could have many meanings, which of course we examined in this video with an interview with former Congresswoman Cynthia McKinney, describing in great detail the sophisticated psychological way that many politicians do get very easily co-opted, which is far more sophisticated than I naturally understood, and this video is definitely worth a watch to understand and will be in the description below of this video. That, of course, was possibility number 3, or it could be that, yes, he is a New World Order globalist, a sheep's and wolf clothing, working to undermine national sovereignty and the freedom and liberty of the average common man. Sorry to go all Alex Jones on you, but those are the 4 possibilities that are likely here. I will not tell you which one I believe in because I am interested in what you think, and that's why I want you to tell me which one of these 4 possibilities do you think is the truth with Jordan Peterson. I, of course, answer videos within the first hour that they are out, so make sure to subscribe and click the notification button to be a part of the larger discussion on this YouTube channel. And holy cow, thanks for sticking with me for this long. And if you found this video helpful or insightful or useful, please share it with your friends and family members, because there's definitely no way the algorithm is going to be promoting this one. But regardless of that, we are still here. We're still operating as an independent news organization because of your shares, your donations, your clicks, your attention with us, which I am eternally grateful for. And that's why I love you guys. Thank you again so much for watching. Stay tuned for more.